Hey everyone, this is Adnan with Channel Trending Videos, and this is part 2 of file and storage services in Server 2012. In the previous video, we went through Server 1, and within Server 1, we added few disks. We installed disks individually. We added disks and make them part of a pool. We made them volumes, and then we shared. And in this video, I'm gonna show you actually the a very important concept in file and storage services, and that is known as iSCSI services. Now, iSCSI services, first of all, we need to understand what is iSCSI services and how does it work. Guys, iSCSI services is mostly about managing external storage. Now, managing about external storage, iSCSI stands for I for Internet Small Computer System Interface. It is all about external storage. Now, in order to understand iSCSI, let me try and explain what iSCSI is here on my whiteboard. Let's see. Okay. So here, first of all, let's understand iSCSI. Now, in iSCSI, first of all, we need to understand iSCSI. Oh, let me get my pen. So this is a pen. Let's take this one. So iSCSI. iSCSI. iSCSI stands for Internet Small Computer System Interface, and it is all about external storage. Now, why am I saying it's about external storage? Guys, storage. In order to understand external storage, we need to understand what storage is. So, storage, all sorts of storages. So, I'm going to say storage. All storages start from a simple disk. So, it's all about this. Storage can be as cheap as just maybe a USB drive for $5, or storage can be as expensive. These disks can be as expensive as millions of dollars of storage with these large organizations, where these large organizations, they save their very important data. For example, telecom companies storing their user information, their call center information, to government organizations or hospitals, they're storing their so they're all storing information on these disks. So all types of storage start from a simple disk. Now, sorry about that. Now, these disks, when you buy a new disk, this disk is not usable. So basically, this is a raw disk. And then what we do, we format the disk to make it usable. And once the disk is formatted, it becomes a volume, just like I showed you in previous. So raw disk becomes formatted, becomes a volume. Guys, storage overall is of two types. So those two types are, number one, local storage or external storage. Now, just like how they are written, local storage is always inside a server. So you have a server, and inside a server there is a disk. This disk is known as local storage. So all types of disks that are inside a server are known as external local storage, and all type of disks that are outside, that are used outside the server, are known as external storage. Meaning you do have a server, and you would bring a USB and connect to the server, and then start storing data on that disk. Here, this is known as external. This is known as external disk. So local disk or external disk. So far what we have seen here in our server, here this was mostly about a local storage. Now I'm going to talk about iSCSI storage. So in order to understand iSCSI storage, let's go back here to our drawing board, and then here, guys, external storages are of majorly two types. External storages are of majorly two types. So number one, file level storage. Sorry about my drawing. And second one, block level storage. File level storages are of further two types. So here, let me get another marker. Number one is DAS, and number two is NAS. Now DAS stands for direct attached storage, so this is direct. Attached storage, whereas NAS is network attached storage. Now these are two file level storage. Now in this, how do they work? So let's say you have two servers in your network. They're both connected to your network. DAS is a storage like a USB or any external, although it's external. So these are all external storage example, DAS or NAS, for this one or this one. In this case, you bring a USB connected to a computer. It is called a direct attached storage, and there are many other examples of direct attached storage. The only problem is that one disk can be used with one computer at a time. If you need to use this disk with this computer, you need to disconnect from here and connect. That is why it is known as direct attached storage. Whereas network attached storage is a storage that is connected directly to the network. So you have two servers, and then what we do is we brought in a new server storage, a NAS device. Now you can get these NAS devices from many different places. So you can get these NAS. So I'm getting this here. So you get a NAS device. And NAS device, what it has disks inside. So it has disk for number 1 inside, and it has disk number 2 inside. It can have 4 disks, 5 disks. The more you spend, the better you get. Now, but the important thing, it is network attached storage. It is directly attached to the network. The biggest advantage is all computers can access the storage at the same time. But these are file level storage. Guys, file level storage overall, they are slower than block level storage. So they are slower than block level storage. They are less expensive than block level storage. Less expensive than block level storage, and they are less efficient. So block level storage on the other hand is of one major type that is known as SAN, and SAN stands for storage area network. Storage area network. And SAN is of two types. So SAN is of two types. So SAN, number one, okay, I lost my pen. It is one called fiber channel SAN, FC SAN, and second one, here comes our iSCSI. So iSCSI is a SAN that is a block level storage, is of type external storage, whereas FC, which is fiber channel SAN, is a SAN too. These are both SANs, but there are some differences. So FC, which stands for fiber channel SAN, and this is more expensive. So this is more expensive, and I would say maybe the most expensive. Plus, it is the most. It is more expensive. It is more reliable as compared to any other storage. More reliable than any other storage, Now the basic, and it comes with a very very fast speed. So fiber channel SAN at the moment it comes with three speeds, four speeds actually, 2 GB, 4 GB, 8 GB, and moving towards 100 GB. Um, Now, why is it expensive? Because fiber channel SAN has its own infrastructure. It has its own disk. Now, you can Google for fiber channel SAN. Fiber channel SAN is made by many different companies, and one of the famous companies is EMC SAN. EMC, they make different type of SAN. You can look at it on internet. VNX 5400 comes in many different models. So EMC is the company. This is the model of SAN. Now the important thing about fiber channel SAN, it is more expensive. It gives you more features. It gives you more speed because it relies completely on its own network. It has its own fiber switches, fiber cables, host bus adapter. In another video, I'm going to explain this in more detail. Now, on the other hand, iSCSI is a cheaper SAN, a comparatively cheaper SAN. Although nowadays in the market, iSCSI can be iSCSIs are becoming more and more iSCSIs are becoming more and more expensive as well. But comparatively, they are cheaper than fiber channel SAN. Where is it? So if you are able to remember this mind map kind of structure, which is this one, storages are of local type and external type. External type is further two types: file level storage, block level storage, and they are slower, less expensive, but they work as external storage. Whereas if you have a low budget, you can go with these options for a storage. If you have a better budget or a high budget, you can go with fiber channel SAN. And iSCSI is also a SAN, but it's not as speedy as this SAN because this rely on TCP/IP network. Now, in order to understand iSCSI, let me show you iSCSI in this whiteboard here. Now, in order to understand iSCSI, what we need to do is we need to understand iSCSI and its components. So iSCSI components are as follows. So first of all, iSCSI is external storage. We already know external storage, and it's of type SAN. It's of type which is storage area network, and here is iSCSI. Now, in order to configure iSCSI in your network, especially in Server 2012, Server 2012 can give you a software iSCSI. In order to make software iSCSI, all we need to do is to add a sub role called iSCSI target. But before I do, let me show you the components of iSCSI. So iSCSI, let's say I have a network of these servers, two servers, and they are all connected to the network. They all have their local disks available here. Now we need external storage. In order to bring external storage, I can work on server 1. So we have server 1 and server 2. Let's start working on server 1. So on server 1, what we'll do is we'll add a feature called iSCSI target. Now always remember, in order to work with iSCSI, iSCSI has two components. One is called iSCSI target, and the other one is called iSCSI initiator. iSCSI target or iSCSI initiator. iSCSI target is always on server side, the storage side, where the disks are, from where you're gonna share the storage for others. So I'm gonna say this is iSCSI target is always storage server side. Storage server side. Whereas iSCSI initiators is always on client side. So all the computers that need to access the iSCSI storage are I should have iSCSI initiator. And iSCSI initiator is present by default on all the clients, and I'm going to show you in the lab on the client side. On the client side. So two components, if you can remember these two components. So iSCSI is made up of two components, target and initiator. Target is always on the server side, initiator always on client side. Now in order to configure iSCSI in our network, what we'll do is we'll go into server 1 and we'll add a feature called iSCSI target. Okay. iSCSI target on this server. Once we add this, so this is point number 1, and secondly what we're going to do is, this is point number 1, and secondly what I'm going to do, I am going to do maybe use the existing disk, or maybe I can use I can add new disks. So in this case I'm going to add some new disks, so maybe 2 new disks. I'm going to add 2 disks. Add unit. Yes. iSCSI target cannot use an offline disk, so for that reason we are going to add 2 new disks and then make them online and create volumes out of them. So, and number 3, new disks, make them online and create volumes. Once they are created volumes, then we're gonna use them with the iSCSI target server. On the client side, all we need to do, we need to configure iSCSI initiator. And iSCSI initiator has only one setting that we need to do. Within iSCSI initiator, we need to point iSCSI initiator to the target server. Basically, we need to write the IP address of we need to use the IP address of the target server. So in initiator, we're gonna say, okay, connect to the target server. Connect to the target server, which is in our case 192.168.100.10, and the initiator connects to this IP, which is basically this IP, and connects to target, and then start using these disks. Now one more thing before I start the lab, we need to understand that on iSCSI environment all devices have IQN numbers. So iSCSI initiator on this side, it will have a IQN number, and then on this side all the disks that we add in iSCSI, they all have IQN numbers. Now what does IQN number stands for? IQN number stands for iSCSI qualified name. So IQN stands for iSCSI qualified name. Basically, this IQN name is given to all devices used in iSCSI, all the communicating devices used in iSCSI, and this is a unique number that is assigned to each device. So one IQ number that is assigned to this iSCSI initiator will not be assigned to any other device. Okay, so now let's start configuring iSCSI in our environment. So in order to do this, again, I need to do this, and then going to add the volume. So now let's get started. So let's within the lab. So let's go on to a lab and let's start with this. So first of all, go to dashboard. Once you go to dashboard, we need to go to file and storage services. Within file and storage services, go to iSCSI, and as soon as you go to iSCSI, here it says, in order to use iSCSI, you must install iSCSI target server. So this is from roles and features. We can go from here, or we can also go from here, add roles and features, and within this, I can go to next and next. And here you need to expand file and storage services, expand file and iSCSI service, and just you need to install this iSCSI target server. Now once you do, next, and next, and just select restart, and done. Once this is all done, it will take few moments, and once this is all done, iSCSI target server will be configured, just like we said here, that in order to make a iSCSI server, any server, you can make this server the iSCSI server or this server, all you need to do install the iSCSI target server or any server. In our case, we're going to install it on server 1. Now once it is still going on, installation started, it's not finished yet. You need to wait until it is finished. And once it is finished, then we're going to do the next step, and the next step will be to add 2 disks, and then we're going to make them, because iSCSI target cannot use offline disks, there must be some volumes that needs to be. So I'm going to add new disk and do the same process that I did earlier. So while this is going on, I'll pause the video and then I'll come back once this is all done. So it just took a moment, a few more moments, and it is installed. Installation succeeded. You close it. And now let's verify. We'll go back to File and Storage Services. We'll go to iSCSI. And right here now I don't see that message that we saw that earlier. Now here it's a different message. It says to create a iSCSI virtual disk, create a new iSCSI. I need to start this wizard. But before I start this wizard, I can right click. Actually, not right click. Actually, I need to start the wizard. Let's start the wizard. Now, I am about to configure the iSCSI target server. Now, when you create a iSCSI target server, you need to add virtual disk. Virtual disk can be added from any of the existing volumes. I can use these volumes that we created in the last video. But for the sake of this iSCSI, I'm going to add 2 new disks. So right click on your server and then go to settings. Add new disks. Let's add 2 new disks. So I have a lot of disks here. Let's add a new disk, hard disk, and then in this case I'm gonna go with, let's say, 15 GB, maybe, or maybe, because maybe you might not have this much space. If you do go with any amount of disk, I'm gonna go with 7 GB. And next, and create another disk. So the second disk is also 7 GB. I'm making it 7 GB to make it look different from all other existing disks, so there won't be any other disks of the same capacity. So now the disks are created. As soon as disks are created, I can verify going to disks here. So go to disk and then refresh. And as soon as you do refresh, in few moments you should be able to see 2 offline disks available. So 2 new disks available. Now if I go to iSCSI here, iSCSI won't be able to recognize them. Why? Because iSCSI can only work with online volume disks. So let's create online volume disk of this. So right click on offline disk and make it online first. And just making it online is not enough. We need to make a volume of this. So keep selected this disk and say create a new volume, or you can right click on this and create a new volume. When you create a new volume, basically you're about to make this disk usable. We'll go with next, next, next. Or if you want to make it look different from other disks, I'm going to say that I'm going to use a volume label with the name. This is a iSCSI disk 1, disk 01, and let me copy this and create, so that I know that this disk is dedicated for iSCSI purposes. It is creating the disk, I'm going to do the same disk with the other disk once this is done. So close, and now create the second disk, which is this offline. This disk is created. As soon as you select the disk, it will show you a J drive here. And the second disk, bring online, and then create a volume. Click OK, and here we'll name it disk 02 and create. Once they are created, we are at basically this step here. I have target server. I added this. We created these. Now I'm gonna basically create the virtual disks for this. Now once these disks are ready, I can go to iSCSI. The very first thing, in order to use iSCSI storage, we need to create the virtual disk. So go here, create a virtual disk. Now go down here and it will show you these are the two disks that we were working on. So for now we'll just create one disk. So create the J drive. You just created this disk, and next. And here we're going to name it. So this is iSCSI VD01. So I just named it according to, since it is a virtual disk, I said iSCSI VD01, and next. And we're going to use exactly the same size, 6.90, and next. And now here it's saying that which iSCSI target server this disk will be hosted on. So it will be the same server, this one. I'm going to say, since we do not have existing, this is the first time we are configuring our target server, so you select new target server and next. And here it's saying what is the target name. The target name and access. So here we're going to say this is eGreen T and target name 01. So I'm just taking it target name 01 and next. And here now it's saying which server will be able to access the disk. So here choose as specify initiator. Just like I said, this server will be used for the initiator purpose, or I can configure this client as well. But in our case, we're going to select server number 2. Server number 2 is starting up. So for now, I'm going to go here and try to browse and connect to just see how many machines are available with the name eGreen. And here I do see both of them. You can select both of them actually. So one is this, and I can select others, but for now I'm gonna just say that this disk will be accessed by this server. So it is very important step. If you don't add this, and if at some time when you browse it gives you error message, and that error message is due to maybe the server is off, maybe this server is completely not joined to Active Directory, or maybe firewalls are on. So just do those basic troubleshooting. Now at this point, since I'm able to do it, I'll just move forward. But in your case, maybe if this doesn't work, then maybe you can also, instead of 2, you can use 1 as well. Just here look for 1 and connect to 1 just to complete the exercise. In my case, I'm going to go with 2. And then next. So it is trying to see that if this server is available. So it is available. Just in case, I'm going to log into the server. And sometimes it will give you, in this case it never give any error message, but here it's saying that to this target server, which is server 1, this server can access this target server. Now if you need this client to be able to access this target server, you need to add the client machine as well. So here I'm going to go to, again, browse and access CL01. CL1 actually, so write name, check name, so it's not available. So you see this type of error message. It might be that this machine is not part of the domain. Let me log off. Let's see. And let me try to log into a domain. So yes, this machine is not part of a domain. We first need to make it join to a domain. So it's a good thing that the error came so that we can troubleshoot this. So the error was that I was about to add client machine to this target server. It gave me this error message. In order to fix the error, what we need to do, we need to go into computer settings, join this machine to Active Directory. So right click, properties, and then see it is a work group. So I will need to join it to a domain. So change settings, change, and here domain, and our domain is egreen. Let's hope it works. Yes, it is. Now this screen won't come if you don't have proper IP addresses and you're not pointing to DNS. So those basic things that we did in our previous videos. So administrator, it will take few moments and should be able to join. If this is not joining, then check your firewall on this machine, check your IP settings, make sure that this is pointing to Active Directory in DNS settings. Now for this one, let's wait for a few moments. So it's joined now, and then as we already know that as soon as machine is joined, it must restart. So it's restarting. So when the machine is joined, it will create an account automatically in Active Directory. So now if I find it, it is able to check it. So it's not giving me that error message again, remember. So make sure the machine is joined, and now I'm going to add it here. And just like we said that all machines have their IQN information, so this way as soon as you add this, it is now connecting to getting the IQN information of this, and it's going to add it here with the server. So this is the IQN number of server 1, and all devices have their IQN number. This is how IQN ICV qualified name. So IQN numbers are unique numbers that are assigned to each device and won't be assigned to another. Now here it's not able to connect. Why? Because the machine is restarting. So machine is restarting, that's why. Because in order to connect to the machine, it needs the IQN number. In order to get the IQN number, the machine has to be on. So machine is still switching on. So now machine is on. Let's try that again. Cancel this, add, and type browse and look for egreen CL, check name. It automatically found it, and now let's try to configure. So if the machine is on, hopefully this should be able to bring the information right here. Okay, come on. So now it is trying to. Now once this is done, then our target server will be configured. So still it is not able to connect. Let's check one more thing here. Let's log in. I think the firewall is on. So once you join a machine, the domain firewall switches on. So egreen, administrator, log in. So when errors like these you see error like these in these when configuring such stuff, just always make sure your basics, meaning they're all on the same network, they are pinging, firewalls are off. Although in real environment you will create exceptions for these firewalls, for these services, but in our test environment we'll switch off the firewalls. It is first time logging into this machine over the domain. Once it is connected, and once it logs in, I need to check if firewalls are on. And how to check the firewall in this, all I need to do is I can go into, oh, it must restart. I should have not do this. Should have not done this. It is just restarting this machine. So for now, I'll just, okay, it is just took a quick restart. Logging in again, should be quick. We're using evaluation version for these training purposes. That's why you see it's not activated. Now in here, I would right click, go to the settings, and right here is the firewall. Make sure firewall, so you see domain firewall is on. So we'll go here and switch off the firewall right here. Switch off, turn off the firewall. Once it is turned off, you can go back to the server and try that operation again one more time. So here, browse. I'm going to say E green and check name. It shows me the client machine. Last time I wrote this name fully, that's why I checked it. But this time I just said E green. It's showing me all of them. And OK. And press OK. Let's see. And it's still unable to determine IQN for this. Oh, yes, I remember. Okay, so that helps with the troubleshooting. But I think on server, on Windows 7, ISCSI initiator, you need to check one thing. Here, go to administrative tools, and there is ISCSI initiator. Oh, ISCSI initiator service is not on. So you must switch on the service of ISCSI initiator. So again, before I switch it on, I'll just go back. All you need to do on a client machine, go here, go to control panel, go to administrative tools, and then go to ISCSI initiator and switch on the service. As soon as you switch on this service, I think when you switch it on for the first time, the machine must be restarted, and it will restart. And then most probably will be able to connect. So it's not restarting on its own. Let me try that again from here. Add and browse, and I'm going to say C green, check name, select machine. That's okay. It is still not able to connect. Probably because it needs a restart. Because it says in the message. Let's restart it once and try that again one more time. The video is getting lengthier, but this troubleshooting is very, very important. Because you might face these issues and you must know how to fix, how to work with them. So machine got restarted, and let's try that again one more time. And once it restarts, I still need to see that if ISCSI initiator service is on. On server, it is automatically on. That's why we never got this issue on Windows on server. Now let me go back here, control panel. Within control panel, go to administrative tools, and within administrative tools, let me open Let me open iSCSI Initiator. So iSCSI Initiator service is working, and here I'll have to retry again. Let's see. E-green. Select the client machine. It is still not connecting. Okay, so then there might be some other. So I'm going to leave that here, and then maybe I can check that out later. For now, we can work from server 2 to server 1. So server 2, so we're not adding server 1 here. I just have server 2 in this. Oh, I'm not going to cancel this. So we came from here. I'm going to move next. Do we need extra authentication on this iSCSI target server? No, we don't. So I'm not going to select this. And then next, confirmation of what we have done, create. And while it is being created, so it is, iSCSI target is being created. So now it's ready. So now we do have iSCSI target ready, and I do have one disk ready as well. But as you can see here, it says not connected. Now, why is it not connected? Because no server is connected to this disk. What I'm going to do is on server 2, I'm going to connect this to target server. In order to do this, all I need to do is we need to go into tools, need to go into iSCSI Initiator, and we'll start the service. And then here, the only thing you need to do, just like we discussed earlier, that on target, you need to use the IP address of the target server on Initiator. So here, target server, and type the IP address of your server 1, 10, and then click connect. And it should be able to connect. So it is connected, done, and press OK. Once it is done, how do you know that you have the disk? So all you need to do is go to your file and storage services on server 2, go to disks. In disk, you should be able to see a disk from iSCSI target server. So here it has its own disk, but this is the disk that is coming from iSCSI. It says this is coming from iSCSI, and it is from that other server from this. Now all we need to do, make it online just the first time, and then create a new volume. Now once you create a new volume and you go to the same process we did earlier, and done, create. Now once this is done, now you're using a disk from iSCSI target server. And how do you verify? If you go to Windows Explorer here and go to computer, you do see few disks here. As soon as this is done, you will see another new disk. So this is the disk from the target server. So this is the iSCSI disk. So guys, this is how we do it. Try doing it slowly on this server. I'll definitely see what's wrong with Windows 7, or maybe I'll take 2 minutes just to see what's wrong with Windows 7 here. So here, let's say Windows 7 not connecting to Windows Server 2012 iSCSI target. So it's saying step by step Windows 7, Windows 12, configuring Windows 7 to iSCSI SAN. If I go here, this is a good article. I've seen that before, but what I'm interested in, Windows 7. What does it say about Windows 7? Connecting Windows 7 with iSCSI. So I need to go to this article, and here it's saying, actually my computer is slow because this is rendering my other video, so that takes up a huge lot space. So here it's saying introduction to Windows 7, and this is exactly what we did. We went into control panel, we went into iSCSI, and then alternate, and then we started the service, then we wanted to connect. Connected. This is exactly what we did. Anyways, I'll check that out later. For now, you can work with server 1 and server 2 in order to work with iSCSI. Guys, thank you for watching this video. If you have any question, leave comments and I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. Thank you once more, and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, just before finishing, just one more thing. Windows 7 has a limitation that Windows 7 we cannot use iSCSI target server, iSCSI target on server 2012. So if the iSCSI target server is residing on server 2012, Windows 7 initiator, iSCSI initiator cannot connect to server 2012 iSCSI target server. Whereas if you need to use iSCSI initiator on Windows 7, you must have server 2008 R2 iSCSI target server. And Windows 8 iSCSI initiator can work with server 2012. So for that reason, on Windows 7, we were not able to connect from iSCSI initiator to our iSCSI target server. Although it was, we can benefit from that complete exercise to know how to troubleshoot any iSCSI initiator issues, and I'm sure that this can be very helpful. So okay, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next video.